So now that Gambo's back, and we're all very happy to have him back, and not just because he brought us chocolate, because we've genuinely missed him around here.
Thank you.
I have a question for you. I want to play a little game with you here. All right? I want you to tell me I'm wrong. Okay? It's a tell me I'm wrong game. Okay? The Phoenix Suns have, in large part, done a lot of what we expected them to do this offseason because of what you told us that they were going to do this offseason. Whether it was the draft, whether it was free agency. Monty Morris met with the media today. We'll talk about him in a little bit because that was kind of something in terms of the point guard that you kind of figured out. There's one thing that hasn't happened yet this offseason.
Okay.
Josh Okogie is not back yet.
Right.
I want you to tell me I'm wrong. I suspect that they haven't re-signed Josh Okogie yet because they're wondering if they can do better with that last roster spot. Tell me I'm wrong.
They've had negotiations with Okogie. I've reported several times, even the other day, that after they signed Monty Morris, that they were still trying to get Kyle Lowry.
Yes, that's what I want to talk about. I want to have a conversation with you about that because I'm fascinated by that.
5 days ago, I tweeted out, by the way, total long shot here because of the vet minimum issue, but I would not doubt if they're still interested in Kyle Lowry. I can't rule that out. And yes, still working on Okogie. I think it probably comes down to they still had interest in getting Kyle Lowry. And I think that Okogie is still in play as well to come back. I would think it's one of those two guys for that final spot. I keep ruling out other guys that people bring up to me, whether it's Paul Reed or Walker Kessler.
Paul Reed found a home today. I think he went to the Pistons.
Yeah, he's not that. First of all, he's not even that good. He's an undersized center. He's kind of like Drew Eubanks. He plays hard, but he's not that good. So I ruled Paul Reed out earlier and Kessler out. And I think it comes down to Lowry or Okogie. They like Josh Okogie. They do. They like him. They were able to get Bol done, which is really good because, there were some people thought that he might be able to get a little bit more than what the vet minimum was, but it wasn't. But it probably comes down to – now, I do think that Lowry will go back to Philly, but I don't know for sure because I think that they can pay him more than a vet minimum.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing about Kyle Lowry I just want to talk about for a second.
Sure.
He's not that good anymore. Like, I know a lot of people want him, and he'll have these moments. He hasn't been good for 2 years. He'll have that occasional flashback. I actually think that Monty Morris is better than Kyle Lowry. This is me. I'm going to give you my opinion. They may sign Kyle Lowry to the vet minimum because I reported 5 days ago they're still trying to sign him.
Okay.
I don't think he's better than Monty Morris. He has not been a good basketball player for 2 years. He's old. He'll have occasional flashes of being good. But if they go sign Kyle Lowry, you're not going to be like, oh, my God, I'm so excited they got Kyle Lowry. I don't think he's that good anymore.
Yeah. Look, what fascinates me is not choosing between the two of them. It's if you have the both of them. I mean, that's a fascinating dynamic to me that you would, it almost sort of reminds me of that infamous draft all those years ago. Hey, why draft one power forward when you can draft two and just figure out which one's better between Dragan Bender and Marquise Chris? And, oh, by the way, they both suck. It almost kind of has that, hey, we don't have a point guard, so let's sign two in free agency.
And hope one of them pays off.
And hope one of them works. Hope one of them is better than the other. One of them gives you a reason to play. And that's why I'm interested in this, because when Josh Okogie opted out, it was kind of like when Damian Lee opted out. In fact, I remember you before you left. You said, look, the Suns, there are three players that they're hoping to get back, and it's Royce O'Neal, and it's Bol, and Josh Okogie. They'd like all three back, but they might just be two of the three.
Right.
Well, two of the three are back.
Yep.
And I just keep waiting for the press release. Hey, Josh Okogie's re-signed with the Suns. Josh Okogie. And the fact that they haven't done it yet indicates to me one of two things. Either Josh Okogie's got a better marketplace than we might have thought, and he's getting more interest than we might have thought, or the Suns are like, are we sure? Are we sure we want Josh Okogie back, or do we need something else? Do we need another shooter? Do we need somebody who's better offensively than Okogie is because Okogie's so limited? It just, the pause in this just makes me feel like something's up a little bit with Okogie. Like maybe they're having second thoughts about wanting to double down on him and bring him back again. And then, look, we're week 2 into free agency. Evan Siddery put out a list of all the guys who are still out there. It's Tyus Jones, Markelle Fultz, Gary Trent Jr., Isaac Okoro, Lonnie Walker IV, Luke Kennard, Precious Achiuwa, Kyle Lowry, Sadiq Bey, Spencer Dinwiddie, Gordon Hayward, Josh Okogie, Jay Crowder, your boy Marcus Morris, Dennis Smith Jr. I mean, not that those are great players, but those are good players who probably thought they were going to get signed by now and they haven't.
Right.
And the longer this goes, the more guys like that might have to settle for a vet minimum contract. And I just wonder if that's what the Suns are holding out for, like waiting to see how the market kind of settles in a little bit.
We're talking about signing a player that's going to be your 10th, 11th, 12th guy in these guys.
You know what?
I mean, it's that's what it is.
You always minimize that, and at some point you're going to need that 10th guy during the regular season. At some point, that guy can help you play, help you win a game. I don't have a problem with them this being the 9th best guy on the roster or the 10th best. That guy might not play a lick for you in the postseason, but if he does something to help you get there, then it was worth every penny.
A lot of what they tried to do is get players that can help them when games matter, and that's playoffs. Can they get guys that can play for you in a playoff game?
Josh Okogie's not that guy. Josh Okogie's not that guy.
He didn't, for Monty, he played on defense, but then when Monty needed offense, then he didn't play. He went to other guys. And then last year with Frank, not really. Yeah, Josh could look. I can say this all. Like, I love Ryan Dunn. I love the pick. He could guard 1 through 4. If his shot doesn't get better, he's not going to play. Mm-hmm. So his shot has to get better because you have to shoot the ball. Like, because if you don't shoot the ball, they leave you wide open and they double team one of your better players, and then you don't want that. That's the NBA. It's only 5 guys. It's not 11. And it's not a football game. 5 guys on the court. If one of them can't shoot, the team's going to leave that guy wide open and going to go double team one of your better players. It makes it so much harder for your best player to have a good game.
All I'm saying is I don't think the criteria right now should be, hey, let's not sign this guy because we don't think he's going to be one of our best rotation players. You've got a roster spot. You got to fill it with somebody, right?
Right.
And just because that guy might not be in your playoff rotation doesn't mean he's useless. Doesn't mean he's worthless. He still has value to you. You just have to use them the right way. I don't know, man. I thought this Okogie thing would have happened by now. And the fact that you keep bringing up Kyle Lowry fascinates me. It fascinates me that they might have Monty Morris and Kyle Lowry on the roster and just let them battle it out to see who the point guard should be.
I think Monty Morris is a better player right now than Kyle Lowry.
He met with the media today. We'll bring you some of that sound a little bit later because I'll be honest, and we'll mention this too, Monty Morris, I had forgotten how good he was when he was good. Before he got hurt, he was so good.
With Denver, he's good. Then when he got to Minnesota, he ended up playing behind like McLaughlin. It just happened, but he was in a good, unique situation in Denver, and I think, and he doesn't turn the ball over.
And he doesn't. Oh, he's got the best nickname in basketball.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys, and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona Sports.